A last-minute diplomatic breakthrough has opened a narrow path away from a wider regional war, with U.S. President Donald Trump announcing a 2-week ceasefire with Iran just hours before his deadline over the Strait of Hormuz. The ceasefire marks a dramatic turn after months of escalation that began with unrest inside Iran and increasingly direct threats between Washington and Tehran. Even as tensions rose, back-channel diplomacy continued, with Omani mediation helping keep talks alive between Iranian and U.S. officials. That diplomatic track collapsed into open conflict on February 28 when the United States and Israel launched major strikes inside Iran. In Tehran and Minab, smoke rose over neighborhoods, damaged streets, and a girls' school, with rescue workers and grieving families left to deal with the aftermath. Trump later declared that Iran's then-supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei had been killed, as damage spread across Tehran and retaliation widened across the region.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime.
Iran's response quickly hit regional targets, including Bahrain, Israel, and strategic Gulf infrastructure, underscoring how rapidly the conflict was spilling beyond Iran's borders. At the center of the crisis was the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway through which roughly a fifth of the world's oil normally passes. When Iran moved to block shipping through the strait, the confrontation shifted from a military crisis to a global economic one. The war then deepened, with strikes on Iranian political and military sites, naval assets, and oil facilities, while Tehran's leadership passed to Mujtaba Khamenei after his father's death. The fighting also took a human toll far beyond the battlefield, from dead U.S. service members to civilians pulled from destroyed buildings in Tehran and elsewhere. Against that backdrop, Trump said the ceasefire would depend on Iran reopening the Strait of Hormuz and allowing safe passage for oil and gas shipments. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who helped mediate the deal, says Iranian and U.S. delegations have now been invited to Islamabad for talks on Friday. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araqi says Tehran will pause counterattacks and allow ships to pass through the waterway, offering the clearest sign yet of de-escalation. For now, the ceasefire offers a brief pause in a war that has killed thousands, shaken governments, hit oil markets, and pushed the Middle East to the edge of a wider conflict. Whether this becomes a genuine turning point or only a short break before the next round of fighting may depend on what happens at the negotiating table in the days ahead.